Hello and welcome back. By this point, you should be working your way through week 9. And if I scroll down through our week 9, at this point it's still inactive, but by this point you would actually have been clicking on these different things. So you should have already read the Brightspace Participation Guide, the guidelines for asking informed and productive questions, revisited that. So you are now working on Activity 1. Within Activity 1, you will be downloading this Word document. Make sure that the very first thing that you do is you are doing a file save as and going to wherever you're saving your files. I'm just going to use my desktop for right now. I'm going to create a CSC120 folder and create that. Inside of here, I'm going to create a week 9 and put my last name and first name on here, just like what we've been doing. This will make it so that you can keep your content organized as you're working through these next modules. Once again, you can save it wherever you would like. Just make sure that it's in a place that's being backed up. Let me create that. And then as far as the file name, per the instructions that you will find in here, you will do this as Activity 1. And then after this as well, staying consistent, we put our last name and our first name, keeping that all the same. So when I download them, I can find. Make sure you take the time and read through all of the instructions carefully. It will guide you step by step. So the first thing are our learning objectives. We are taking a bit of a step back because at this point we're going to use a different form or method of creating programs than what we have for the first half. We're actually going to be working within the main. However, our process for setting up our projects will be the exact same. So if I scroll down, you'll of course read that entire thing. The very first thing we have to do is you are going to read through this and you're going to actually create this project via those instructions up at the top so that it's identical to what we have here. I'm going to actually walk you through this process in NetBeans because I want you to see that it is the same and that you're doing everything identically. So I'm going to open up NetBeans and let's clear this down here. That way then you can see this is the fresh start. So if I let's actually quit. Whoops, go back to NetBeans. Let's quit this, and I just want to make sure that we're all selecting the exact same settings. So let me reopen this. All right, so I've got an empty NetBeans project here right off the bat with nothing in it, or an empty IDE. So I'm going to right away go to my file, new projects. Still going to make sure that I'm selecting the Java with AND. This is why, once again, if you haven't set up your NetBeans program to be identical to what we have and using the exact same version, you need to go back, uninstall your NetBeans and install it using exactly the version and using the instructions that are posted on the home page of D2L. So I'm going to click Next. Right away, I'm going to browse to my desktop, find that folder that I just created, navigate into my week 9. The instructions will tell you that you are, so if we just open that, we are creating our project of Activity 1, and if you want, you can call this first one Model 1. For the next ones, you'll do Model 2 and Model 3. Make sure that you are starting your projects with the actual task and going from there. We are still unchecking the Create main class. I'm going to click Finish. And then I'm going to switch on over to Files just so that you see that we have an absolutely empty project here, just like what we've done in the past. I'm going to right-click on the source folder, do a new Java class. This one I am going to name Hello, and it is going to go into my Activity 1 Module 1 project, and then I can just click Finish. You'll see that it actually adds a few comments for us. That's okay. We're going to take the comments from the first few lines and we're going to get rid of all of those, bring that comment block up to the top, and then you're going to type in exactly as shown in the activity instructions. So it's the asterisk, a space, and then hello world programmed, and then a period. We leave a blank space, after the hello program description, notice we're using the @author. This is getting us into Java doc commenting, which we will talk about at a later date. For right now, just be aware that this is the structure you will follow from this point forward in our class. I'm going to do an @version and put today's date. So today is now the 17th of 2020. So put whatever date you're working on this. Notice my public class is already built in here. I am going to use that same structure and I'm going to put in the next comment block. So I just do the slash and then 2 asterisks. As soon as I hit enter, it automatically populates the next thing. So in this case, I'm typing in the exact message that is in the handout and then going down from there. And we will use this @param args command line arguments. And for right now, we're just going to type that in as is and go with that. The same thing with our public static void main, and within the parentheses, our parameter that we are sending into this method is the string and it is the args. We're not going to worry about what that means at this point. This is why we skipped this from the beginning, and so that we didn't have to actually dig into that. But as we move forward, we will eventually come back to that and revisit it. It is one of the common ways of developing programs. From this point, it's the same thing as what we have been doing within our frame. In here, I'm just going to do my system.outline or print line, and we're going to truly just do our very first hello world and end like that. I'm going to save this, get rid of this extra line so that it matches the code exactly. I've now got this saved. If I expand this out, I can see that my hello world is within my source folder. I then will come up here and run my project. I will have to select hello and it runs everything there, and right here I see my message. So this will be the way we're going to develop programs for the second half. That way then, with us working virtually, we can work through some of these exercises. And so if you have any questions, post to the week 9 questions and support discussion forum. Make sure that you give us details on what you've completed. So in other words, use the questions or asking informed questions guideline here. That's the same as what had been in an announcement. I just shifted it into this week. If you've got questions, post them and keep me posted on how you're doing. Keep working on through your content. Good luck.